Okay, so today we're diving into something, well, kind of delicate, sex education, specifically in India. And honestly, just saying that out loud feels kind of charged, right?
It really does.
And that's exactly what makes this deep dive so fascinating. We've got these, well, they're more like questions and concerns, really, all about how India approaches or actually kind of avoids sex ed.
What's interesting is that even raising the issue, even asking these questions, kind of points to a need for change. Yeah.
100%.
Mm.
It's like saying, hey, we're not really talking about this, but maybe we should.
Mm.
So first things first, why is sex ed such a taboo topic in India, even in this day and age?
It's a tangled web, right?
Hmm.
But a lot comes down to deeply rooted cultural norms in India. For generations, anything remotely related to sex has been taboo. It's seen as like shameful, kept under wraps, not something you discuss openly, definitely not over chai with the family.
Makes sense. But what I find really interesting is that these questions we're looking at, they don't just stop at why is it taboo? They go a step further, asking about the actual need for sex ed. Almost like saying, hey, this is important. We can't keep ignoring this, right?
Absolutely. And this is where, we have to look at the bigger picture. India has this massive youth population, right? Like over 600 million people under 25. It's staggering.
Wow, that's more than twice the entire population of the U.S.
Right. And these young people, they're navigating adolescence, young adulthood, a time when accurate info about, well, everything sex, relationships, their own bodies, it's crucial.
No.
And without it, they're left in the dark making choices without all the facts.
It's about giving them the power to make informed decisions, not just about preventing pregnancies, but also STIs, but also, about respect, boundaries, consent, things that impact their entire lives.
100%. And yet this is where we run into that wall again, because one of the big questions that keeps coming up is, why are people not encouraging sex education more?
Right, like why is there resistance?
And part of it, honestly, is a lack of understanding. People hear sex education and their minds jump to the wrong conclusions, like it's all about encouraging,
Being promiscuous, right? Like
Oh,
it's somehow pushing kids into being more sexually active at a younger age.
exactly. When the reality is comprehensive sex education, when done right, can actually lead to delaying sexual activity.
Because it's about making informed choices,
Yeah.
not just about the act itself.
Right, and there's a mountain of research that shows that comprehensive sex ed can actually lead to a decrease in STIs and teenage pregnancies.
Okay, so how do we bridge this gap?
Yeah.
We have tradition and societal norms on one hand, and this very real need for information on the other. It feels like these questions we're discussing, they're searching for that, a way forward.
It really comes down to changing mindsets. It's about open, honest conversations. Like, imagine if we could talk about sex and relationships as openly and honestly as we discuss, I don't know, cricket scores. It's a huge task, but we need parents, we need educators, we need policymakers, everyone really, to sit down at the table, acknowledge the concerns, and truly highlight the positive impacts of comprehensive sex ed.
It's almost like asking these questions, like lighting a fire into these important conversations.
Exactly, because it's not enough to simply acknowledge the problem. We need to be actively looking for solutions. This isn't just an India problem either. This is a global conversation.
It really makes you think, like, what are other cultures doing that's working? Are there programs, strategies, even just ways of talking about these things that have been successful elsewhere? That's something to really dig into, and maybe a topic for another deep dive entirely.